the final project. I was kind of trying to think about, oh, what do I want to talk about for this? And then I thought, why don't I combine two of my favorite things currently? So, one of my current favorite things is Wicked. I love the movie, I love the musical. As you can see, I own the merch. This is from the Broadway show. I love it so much. The songs are so good. I cannot wait for part 2. But I've only gotten to see it once because it's been busy finals week. But yeah, so I really like Wicked. What's something else that I really like recently? It is Dancing with the Stars. Now you might be asking yourself, what is Dancing with the Stars? Lucky for you, it's very easy to explain. So, Dancing with the Stars is a dancing competition with stars. So basically, there are 2 types of contestants for the entire show. First off, there are the pros. The pros, I would argue, have the hardest job. They have to choreograph the dance, they have to teach the dance to the stars, and they have to perform this dance with the stars in a competition level. And I would argue that being a pro on this show is a little bit more difficult than just being a plain old professional dancer, because they have to figure out things that their partner can do. They have to figure out where their skill level is, and they have to teach it to someone who's never done this before. But who are the pros' partners? The stars. The stars on Dancing with the Stars can be a wide range of people. For example, some famous people who you might have heard of who have been on Dancing with the Stars is Zendaya, Amber Riley from Glee, Bill Nye was on there, Bindi Irwin, and also Anna Delvey. In case you don't know who that is off the top of your head, this was her intro.
I'm Anna Delvey, and I'm a New York-based fashionista in 2017. I was accused of multiple counts of brand larceny. I did serve my time, and Dancing with the Stars is a way for me to show people a different side of me.
And Inventing Anna was based off of her. So do with that what you will. But these pros and these stars are paired up in order to make teams. So the thing about teams is they used to have names. This show's been going on for 33 seasons. It's a really long show. But the teams used to have names, then they stopped having names, and now they have names again. An example of this is Kata Rugby, because Kata Rug is dance, and Ilona Maher does rugby. And also my favorite is Arnold Pommelhorse, because it was Lindsay Arnold and Steve Pommelhorse. That's not his last name, but he does Pommelhorse, and a lot of people call him Steve Pommelhorse that is his last name. But it's really fun. We have fun. But yes, so the pros and the stars each week will learn a dance, they'll dance to it, and then they'll get scored. But how do you get scored them out? Well, but how do they decide who wins? Well, first off, they have judges. The judges give a score out of 10. At some points there were 3 judges, at some points there were 4 judges. Currently there's 3 judges, but basically they get points out of 10, and they can get their top score, they can get it at 30. Then the other half of it comes down to audience votes. So you can text or go on their website. It used to be you can call, but you can't do that anymore. But you can go on the website or you can text them and basically say, I want to vote for this person, and that counts as your vote. So it's half judges' scores and half votes. So you may be saying to yourself, wait a second, that means someone can win without being like technically the best. And yes, that does mean that. Anyway, yes, so basically, you can win because you're good, or you can win because you're really popular, one of the two. But yeah. So that's Dancing with the Stars. And you might be asking yourself, okay, but how are you going to connect it to Wicked? I've decided that I'm going to rank all the characters in Wicked, or most of the characters in Wicked, based on how well I think they would rank if they were to do Dancing with the Stars. Small caveats about that. I will be doing this within the universe of the show. For example, Alva is really popular because she's the protagonist. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's so in the right, she's so great, she's so awesome, which is true. But in the universe of the show, she's considered a terrorist. So she wouldn't have a whole ton of fans. So we're gonna be kind of going off from the perspective of the show, like within the world of the movie. So, you ever ask yourself, how am I gonna judge this? Well, let's go over to my criteria. Hello, and welcome to my criteria. Why I think who would win would win and why I think everyone would place the way that they do. Basically, these numbers are very subjective, I do want to just kind of give you an idea about why I chose the way that I chose. So, our first criteria is going to be, if I get this in the word, ability. So, here's the thing about ability. Doesn't mean you'll win if you're the best dancer. No. Zendaya lost. She was the best dancer. It comes down to a lot of things, but you do have to be at least a little bit able to dance. It does factor in. There are definitely people who will only vote for who they think is the best, not necessarily who is their favorite or who deserves to win. They will pick who they think is the best dancer. But yeah, so ability is not everything. For example, you can lose and be the best dancer. You can win and be the worst dancer. I'm never gonna be over him. I'm never gonna be over him winning. How did he win? How did he win? Look at this. Look at it. No. And that brings us to our second category, likability. Are you a likable person? My running theory, that's why Anna Delvey lost. Because she was not a likable person. She was a smooth criminal. Yeah, you have to be likable. You have to make people root for you. If you're just mean to everyone, you suck, everyone's gonna be like, she doesn't deserve to win. Even if you're the best dancer, they're not gonna think you deserve to win. Basically, you have to be a likable person. And now for our final category is fan support. Does this person have a fan base? You can be the nicest person in the entire world, but there are a ton of people who are only voting for who their favorite is. They're not necessarily voting for the best dancer, who the nicest person is. They're voting for, oh yeah, I watch zombies. I'm gonna vote for that guy. He was on zombies. Or something of that nature. People will vote for random people, basically, because they know them. Do you have the fan support? While I think the fan support isn't the most, like I said, I think all of these are equally important. You have to be able to dance, you have to be likable, and you have to have fan support in order to win. Well, you don't necessarily have to have skill. I'm so sorry, this is just turning into a Bobby Bones roast. Actually, I'm not sorry. What's the deal with that? Anyway, here's my criteria. Just to give you an idea about what everything I'm judging on. Back to you. Alrighty, now that we've established what we're ranking on and our criteria, here is how I think all of the roles in Wicked would shake out there on Dancing with the Stars. Our first one is Dr. Dillamond. I think he would be the first person to get eliminated. That is mostly because if you look at his ability, I'm putting him as a 2 because he's a goat. I think it would physically be hard for him to get into the frames that he needed and do the steps that he needed. And also I think it would be hard for him to dance with a human. For likability, I put a 7. He is very, I think as a teacher, he is very much like one of those teachers you can talk to. He cares about his students, and I think that would come across as a likable trait. But he also is an animal, and animals face systemic discrimination. For Prior Fanbase, I put a 1 because he's a random teacher at a very famous school, to be sure, but this is his first year here, and he's kind of just vibing. Like, he doesn't have something about him that really makes him famous. So his overall score would be a 10 out of 30, so he'd be the first to be eliminated. Our second to be eliminated is going to be Elphaba. I put Elphaba's ability as a 6. I feel like she has potential, but it really hasn't been polished. Like, if you saw her during the Oz's Ball, that scene, she can dance, especially when she's given encouragement, but I don't know if she would necessarily have the time that it took to have that encouragement for other reasons. I gave her, for likability, I put her as a 4 because I feel like she does kind of greet the world in kind of a hostile manner, and that is because of the negative experience she's had with the world. I still do think that wouldn't necessarily come off well on the show, so that is why I gave her a 4. For Prior Fanbase, I put her as a 2. The reason I put her as a 2 is because I feel that while people know who she is, they think of her as a terrorist. So they wouldn't necessarily be inclined to vote for her, except for the people who are very countercultural. So I put her down as a 2 for Prior Fanbase. So this would give her a score of 12, meaning I think that she would be the second person to be eliminated. Our next one is going to be Bach. I think that Bach would be the third person to be eliminated. The reason that I think he would be the third person to be eliminated is because for ability, I gave him a 7. We've seen him dance in some bits, but we also haven't seen him just blow me out of the water with any in universe dancing, so I gave him a 7. For likability, I give him a 5. Personally, Bach gives me the ick. He is not very respectful when Glinda says no, and I don't like that. Is she saying no for a very superficial reason? Yes, but you know, he still needs to respect her no. So he gives me an ick. And for prior fanbase, I put a 4. That is because he associates himself with some more famous people, which is why I gave him a 4. I would go in more into that, but it is a spoiler. Next, I put Nessa Rose. So for Nessa Rose, I put her ability as a 7. The bits of her we see dancing are very good. I think that if she was given the opportunity to do more dancing, I think that she would thrive under that area, but I don't think that she's necessarily given that opportunity to learn how to dance, so I gave her a 7. For likability, I give her a 9. I think that she's very good at kind of playing the part of, so she's a politician's daughter, and I think that she's very good at playing that part. She's also just generally, she seems like she's a nice person. She wants to do right by people, and maybe she doesn't stick up with her sister when she should, but you know, I think that overall she would come across well on TV, and that's more so what I mean by likability. Prior fanbase, I put her as a 6 because she, like I said earlier, she's a politician's daughter. Her father is one of the rulers of Munchland, so she kind of has that recognition as a very famous person. So that's why I put her as a 6. My next person, so I think she would be the 4th person to go. For our 5th person, we have Madame Morrible. So for Madame Morrible, for ability, I put her in as an 8. Have you seen Michelle Yeoh move? Like, I'm not saying that she's Michelle, like, I'm not saying Madame Morrible is Michelle Yeoh, but at the same time, have you seen Michelle Yeoh move? She has control. I think that she would be able to dance. She'd also have some cool, like, stuff she could do with her magic, like, enhancing the dance. So that's why I put that there. For, like, ability, I gave her an 8. The reason I gave her an 8 is because she kind of knows how to play the system. Teeniest to tiniest of, spoilers for Wicked. She has a direct line of contact for the wizard. She's able to just talk to him. I think that because of that, that shows that she's able to play the game. So I think that she would be able to really like kind of play the audience and like build up her things because she's been able to do that before. For prior fanbase, I put a 6. People literally go to her school just for her. So I think that it's definitely it's not out of the question that she is just kind of a well-known person. So that's why I put her there. And her total score would be 22 out of 30. Then we have the Wizard. The Wizard, I think, would be 3rd place. This is where we get into the finale, which is the finale is the last 3. It used to be the last 3, then it was the last 4. In the past few years, it's been the last 5. It doesn't matter. So for the Wizard, for ability, I put a 9. The bits of it we see where he's dancing like in universe. He seems to be able to dance. He can move. It's also Jeff Goldblum. You know, he can move. He can dance. For likability, I put a 9. Once again, he's Jeff Goldblum. I think that he definitely knows how to how to play a crowd, how to get them on his side. Spoilers for Wizard of Oz, I guess, but that's basically what he did. He didn't really have all that many skills, all that whatever. He was able to kind of just make himself a mythos. So I think that he definitely would be able to like play a reality TV show. For fanbase, I put a 10. Nobody doesn't know who the Wizard is. Everybody knows who the Wizard is. He is probably going to be the most known person. So his final score would be 28 out of 30. For 2nd place, I put Fiyero. For Fiyero, I put ability, I got him a 10. Look at everything that he's danced in universe. He's a 10. He can definitely dance. For likability, I put a 10. Have you seen people freaking out about Jonathan Bailey? He's very likable, as the character and also the actor. Look at him. I think Fiyero definitely has a 10. He's able to make anybody like him, which I think is like a real asset when it comes to reality TV. And his fan base is an 8. The reason I gave him an 8 is because I feel he's a prince. So he kind of has that pre-established fan base where he can kind of talk about he's a pre-established fan base, and he also is he's just very famous at his school. So I feel that he with fan base, he isn't as popular as the Wizard or our next person, but I do think that he is famous enough to have a good solid fan base. My only thing with the So you might also notice that he also has 28. I made a judgment call. I think that Fiyero would do better. But, you know, sorry, it's not very judgment. Of course our final is going to be Glinda or Galinda. Who did you think it was going to be? She has a 30 out of 30. Ability, she has a 10. We can see she knows. Likeability, have you heard the song Popular? That's the whole entire point. She knows about Popular. I almost put Likeability as Popular, but then I thought that might be too on the nose. Very, very popular person. She knows how to play the system. Fanbase, 10. Did you see everyone who was flipping out to meet her in the very beginning of the movie? Of course she's gonna win. Of course she's gonna win. Who did you think was gonna win? Thank you so much for listening to me talk about Wicked and also Dancing with the Stars for way too long. I really appreciate it. This has also been my final project, so thank you. I hope everyone's having a good day.